Hey guys, I wanted to do this video. First of all, thanks for the massive amount of views on the most recent Gears of War videos. For me, it's very difficult to produce content on this game. Some of you may know why, some of you may not know. We've had some new subscribers, some new viewers. Well, the long and short of it is I'm a critique channel. I like to discuss the good and the bad, and there's a lot of good in this game, and there's also a fair bit of bad in the game, and that's how we've always approached it, in a fair and balanced manner. However, due to, let's just say, identity politics over Twitter, I was kicked off this franchise with no explanation, and as a result, every gamertag I would make on Gears 5 would be banned. Developers would watch my stream, find my gamertag, and ban them. Viewers, people on Twitter, would find my gamertag, send them to community members, and have my gamertag banned. And so I think it's a testament, if I blow my own trumpet, to myself that I still continue to try and point out the issues and help you guys, because it seems like still nobody wants to do it. So I'm going to try my best to cover up anything identifiable by me in the game. Today's video is about just generally the calamity which is Gears Reloaded, and I'll tell you why it's a calamity. It's a calamity of a game. It is a calamity of a game because this is a remaster of a remaster of a game from 20 plus years ago. So it gets judged more harshly. This is not a new IP. This is not a new developer. This is a pattern. And the pattern is fundamentally they keep getting it wrong again and again and again. Whether it's servers, whether it's balance, whether it's lack of options, whatever it may be, it keeps falling short. Today, I experienced what I've been experiencing the whole time, but I decided to capture some of it. Here's example one of what I feel is wrong with the game. Here we go. I've just spawned. The enemy in front of me has just spawned. You can see here, I have hip-fired my gun. He is in the center of the screen, but you can clearly see 1 to 2 pellets are missing. And he is downed in one shot. He's downed in one shot. There is no shotgun fight. There is no dance. There is no battle. The problem with this is not just the one shot down. It's the fact it's inconsistent. We don't know when we're going to get the one shot down. Sometimes you hard aim a full spread on somebody, no kill. Sometimes you miss 2 bullets, you're downed. Sometimes you miss what I feel like is even more bullets, but maybe on their screen they're a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, and this game has what I call that awful artificial lag compensation where no matter what ping you're on, it doesn't feel like you're lagging, but you can definitely tell something's wrong and you're lagging. And so you get the one shot down, and this is not the most egregious example, but I push the next guy, and this is the shot I produce. This is obviously, to an experienced Gears player, this character here is center screen, and it's a big spread on him, and he goes down in one shot. Now, some of you will say, excellent, superb, the perfect gameplay, you landed everything. Others would say, that's just not fun, because the amount of times I've been in situations where I'm trying to save a hill, or flank somebody, or surprise somebody, and I land some decent shots on them, and they turn around from a crazy distance and down me in one shot. It's nonsensical. This is not Gears, by the way. I've been one shot downed more in this few days than I have in the history of Gears of War. And then we obviously have clips like this, which exist since the dawn of time, where you can pinpoint millions of different versions of this. But you do an animation, you do something, you slide, you go to cover, you do this, you do that, and you're absolutely sure you are past the character, and then the character blows you up. If we just pause it there, I have apparently stunned him, and I have been frag tagged, and I then take a look. This was where I was frag tagged from. Now, that is how much lag is technically in the game. You might not see it because you might not see such an egregious example of this, but there is a crazy amount of lag that is just literally hidden. And that's why quite often I'll snipe somebody, I swear I hit them, it doesn't. And there's also times where I've absolutely missed and then killed people with a sniper and been like, wow, there must be a lot of lag in this game. Again, an example here, I'll pause it. What happens is I slide past this guy and he shoots and I die. And you might say, oh yeah, it's a tiny bit of difference. But in a game like this, that is the game. The game is all about movement. It's all about shotgun. It's all about understanding what he's going to do, so you do something that counters it and you get in a better position. When there's this much screen difference, you can't really do that, so everybody just stands hard aiming and trying to down each other. Why am I nitpicking this much? Well, this has just been a thing since pretty much TC took over the game. Just seems to be more and more screen difference. It's like they have laggy players in the game and they don't want to make them lag, so they give them some sort of lag compensation or something, and at times it genuinely feels like the laggier player has the advantage. An example of a common fight in Reloaded would look something like this. Somebody begins to Lancer, rolls back, we begin to have a shotgun fight. Everybody's scared to push because of this example here, where somebody just gets immediately one-shot downed and the fight is over for him. I obviously then think, well, I can't enter into that range because I might be one-shot downed. So you begin to play slow. And obviously when you play slow, people come to get you. And so you're forced to like kind of not push people because you're scared of being one shot down or just straight bullshitted, or you run away and then eventually you get out teamed. I try to run away, I go back in and I one shot down him. Yes, I had an active, but it's just ridiculous. And then you'll see the next area where, you know, I'm scampering around because in a way I'm thinking I don't want to get inside of his one shot range, and I start getting panicky and missing shots, you know, and then he pops up and he one shot downs me. And so that whole fight, all 3 kills were decided by a random one shot down. Here is me hard aiming somebody down with one shot. That's right, killing him with one shot. And then here is me getting downed. Now I want you to think about this distance. This is a very large distance, and it's not the largest distance I've been downed from. And I'm downed in one singular shot. I'm not red in any way. So what the game is basically telling you guys is this distance here, right? If I pause it here, this is the distance the 2 players were. The game is saying to you, don't get in that distance or you can be downed in one single shot. So everything in between, the wall bouncing with the lag, all of that stuff, you may as well not do it. If you get inside of this range, there is a potential for you to be one shot downed. Crazy. This is one of the most irritating things in the game for me. Let me know in the comment section below if you see this. Every single game, without fail, on God, this is what happens. I aim at a person and they teleport. Did you just see him teleport? Well, let's play that back. Now he slides. Now, this isn't a bug per se, and it's not a critique of TC or the game. This is just how it is. But this is an element of the game that can cause a lot of frustration. Because we've just spoke about the screen difference, screen lag, whatever you want to call it, servers, all of that stuff, you then begin to second guess yourself. Now, a smart play here is something like this. I'm being patient. I hold my shot, and I know where he's going. I wait for him to hit the wall. The crosshair it's not fully on him, but by the time he hits the cover, his body should come down, and I die. On my screen, he'd barely, if even frame, when I look frame by frame, he'd not even hit the cover. Lastly, on this clip, I just thought this was amusing. I climbed up, avoided the train, but then apparently didn't avoid the train, and I spent the rest of the game in the sky on Tyro Station, unable to be killed, unable to be downed, and I left the lobby because I thought they might have some sort of auto detection that if you leave the map, you get banned, and I didn't want to take the risk, so I just left. Over the top here, but this guy, you will notice when you aim, you see his character there shift position ever so slightly. There's a thing in this game that when you aim down sight, the characters teleport. I'm going to try find examples of this, but just trust me. The characters for me jitter all over this. You see him there? You see him there go back and forth a tiny bit? Then he jitters again. And I'm led to believe that I'm on a good server and I'm playing, right? Then he rolls past me. I miss my shot, which is just poor play. And then I see basically myself get meleeed to death and fall over, but it's a shotgun kill. Yeah. So I just left. I just kept going and going and going and going until I was nowhere. So look, the reason I'm nagging on this game is because these are all of the issues that have existed in Gears forever, and I could give you some ideas to fix it, but frankly, I'm past that now. I'm just highlighting them, and I'm going to throw it to the community. Are these some issues that you experience as well? Let me know. Because I've got some clips as well where I hard aim point blank somebody at point blank range and they don't die. And I'm absolutely sure on their screen they're lagging. But if I'm not lagging, it should be going off what I see. Like, I'm the one not lagging anyway. Yeah.